So I'm doing another cut, and part of me is kind of like disappointed because what happened ended up happening. The whole reason why I'm doing a second cut is I was like, these are the books I'm reading in July, and then I didn't realize that the way I wanted to read them was I was going to be reading some before July 1st. July 1st, so you know how I do the appetizer where it's the OGNs and then some of the books. Usually, because of their library books, I checked out too many, and I knew that going in. It's like, oh, I wanted to get this book and that book and that book, and it was just like a little bit too much. So I would read like the first like 10 or so, including the OGNs, and like five of them would be regular comics, like, issues 1 through 5 of Spider-Man, then the Spider-Man OGN. So, and that's how, like, 5 of them would be that, and 5 of them would be OGNs. That is how that happened with some of those books. But these are all my PC. Instead of taking them out and not reading them because, I wanted to do, no, I just decided I'm going to read those beforehand. Like, oh, yeah, no, read them beforehand, be all good. And then I didn't realize, if I want to start the main course books, a big stack of books, on July 1st, then that means I'm not officially starting them in July. I'm starting the appetizers in June. This doesn't make sense. I'm sorry if this doesn't make sense to you, being a new viewer. It's really complicated to explain this every single time, especially because sometimes sometimes I have a better way of explaining it than other times. Like this time, yeah, you never know. I might explain it well, but then next time I won't, or this time I won't, and next time I will. But for those of you who are unaware of how I read comics, or what OGNs are. So OGNs are original graphic novels, and those are like Joker by Brian Azzarello, where it's actually one of the books I chose, where that is all in one. It's a graphic novel. It's like 80 pages, but it was not previously released as Joker by Brian Azzarello issues 1 through 4. It's all in one. And then you have the collected editions, which are, that's why I was saying, collect Spider-Man 1 through 5. That's why I was saying that. These were previously released like a 5-issue mini-series or as an ongoing. And they have the collected edition that collects usually 5 to 7 issues of that respective series. So like Spider-Man by Nick Spencer Volume 1 would collect 1 through 5 of Spider-Man and the Free Comic Book Day story for Spider-Man. So that is what I normally read. And that's why I have like that big stack of books you'll sometimes see that I read from the library. And I go over them, and it's like 25 of them, 25 plus of them. Usually 22. When I was working, it was 22, but now that I'm off work for the summer, it's going to be 25. And that's the whole point of this. So this was planned way back in the day. Because I got a new job and it was in my first full-time position, I knew I would not have enough time to read the amount of comics I normally read when I had all the time at my disposal. Now that I do, for the most part, I'm on summer break, I do want to get back to the way things were before, where I read 25 comics per day and do nothing else. But as of right now, like the first 2 weeks of summer, I was just doing the 11 per day plus an OGN maybe. So the OGN, I don't usually read an OGN for like the school nights, but on the weekends, if I could, I'd fit one in there. But now that I'm on break, I was kind of like a way of celebrating, but I still wanted to like watch a movie or play Xbox or do this or that. It just gave me more time to do those things. But not really, because I got kind of a lot of it was YouTube. I get kind of addicted to YouTube pretty easily. Not too bad though. I definitely had that person in my brain saying, "All right, let's get off YouTube. You can do one more video," and then the mother in me. I don't like if you. It's pretty obvious. It should be pretty obvious. I will say it again. My forte is comics. That's why this YouTube channel is not only called It's Just in Comics, but it's focused on comics primarily, because that is what I like to do. That I could probably, when I go on vacation, I'm constantly in comics, buying comics, reading comics, getting comics in the library. It's just a revolving door of comics. And that's fine. Right now, room in my room, but my room's small, so it's not really that's the thing I find so funny. I always tell myself, it's a lot, you're buying a lot, and not buying a lot, because I have a system now. But, I'm running out of room, and I'm like, okay, you start thinking of plans, and it's like, well, if I had a bigger room, we wouldn't be talking about this. My room was twice the size it is, and I had twice the amount of shelf space. I don't think there would be any problem whatsoever. But because of how small the room is, of course it looks like I have a lot. Well, my room is super small. Still is a lot. I'm not going to say that it's like, oh, it's 200 versus 400. No, it's definitely over 400 for the graphic novels alone. The collected editions. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it. First two up are OGNs. So, why am I adding OGNs? I just said, oh, before June, and then the main course, yada yada yada. Because July 4th is coming up, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have all dates myself on July 4th. We're not really planning on doing anything, but I'm sure we're going to have something. So, it's also just giving myself a day off. So the first two up are OGNs, so I'll probably try and read those both on the same day, which is, these two are not that long, so pretty easy to do. And one of them I've read before and really enjoyed, and that is Kinski by Gabriel Hardman. Now, when it comes to this pile of books, the Image Writers pile, basically all these books are written by at least one person who has done work for Image. So not the category, not the main appeal. What's the word? That's the, oh god, what's the word? Not system. Damn it! I just had it, and it went away. Not the point. But yeah, that's the whole, that's all. System sounds stupid to say. It's not system. I don't know what it is. Not category. Not the whole point. But that is what each and every book here is. Starting with Kinski, written and drawn by Gabriel Hardman. So I will not say who the artist is. I'll just say who the author is. The author is also the artist. Then yeah, I'll mention who the artist is, obviously. But the next book I will mention who the artist is because it's the same as Kinski. But this one I remember really enjoying. But yeah, very very small dimensions for this book. But honestly, not that bad. And the way they have the page panel layout, they had to have known it. They were gonna have it be a smaller sized trade paperback. Because trust me, there are books that they kind of look at them and you're like, there's actually, I think, 4-letter worlds had that issue. Where I was flipping through it and I was like, okay, this text is really small. Did they know that it was going to be a tiny ass book? I think 4-letter worlds is actually smaller than this is. No, I don't know why Image does that. And Image is all about the creators, and that's why I love Image so much. They are the original creators first company publisher. Of course, you have Boom Studios now, and Vault Comics, Mad Cave, so many publishers that even I don't know about. I'm not saying Image is the be-all end-all. I'm just saying that they had the best of the best. My top 5, 3 of them, soon to be 4, are all Image. Probably top 6. Like number 6 would be an Image book. That's what I'd say. Spoilers, it'll be Sex Criminals. But that's kind of the point. And Dark Horse is really good. Dark Horse was actually what I was collecting before I made the move to Image Comics. And Boom Studios has a lot of great, fantastically phenomenal works by so many damn good creators. Some of them who are from Image. Like Jeremy Huon did The Red Mother. And I was so pissed off that the library did not have book 3 of 3. So I never got to finish that series. And Boom Studios doesn't do sales. Image will sometimes do sales, and honestly, I think their trades are a better price on the Kindle than Boom Studios is. That's another thing too. I could go on all day about why I'm collecting Image rather than Boom Studios or Dark Horse or whatever. But the main 3 are price. These guys know how to price their books, price their trades. It's not $19.99 for a 128-page trade. It's $14.99 or $16.99. Dark Horse is $19.99. So overall price is better. Quality is good. It's also, but it's just as good as the others. But sometimes it's better. Like, you get Paper Girls and Wicked the Divine. And I've never read an Image comic book I absolutely hated. Closest is Mother of Madness, and that I really should reread. I have it. I own it now. And then the third is, just the quality overall. You got really good writers. So if you like, oh, Brian Azzarello, he did Moonshine, which that I will be reviewing soon. I just finished that yesterday, actually. But that will be, actually, you already got that review. Alright, anyways, moving on. because we're only on the second book and we're already 10 minutes in. Jesus Christ. I like long videos, but I also don't like it to be a bunch of prattling. Next one up is Heathen Town. This is written by Gabriel Hardman's wife, Karina Sarah Bechko. I kept saying Sora like the Kingdom Hearts guy. I know nothing about. I only know of Kingdom Hearts through Oni Plays. I knew them before. I knew what Kingdom Hearts was beforehand, and I actually did want to play the game, but then I saw Oni Plays playing, and I was like, okay, no, never mind then. Then the artist is Gabriel Hardman. And this one is one I haven't read before, but I like both these creators. They're like phenomenal knockout writers. They wrote Kinski, first of all, I really enjoyed, but they also wrote the Planet of the Apes Boom Studios run. That's an omnibus of 600 pages, and each page is almost as good as the last. Some of it, like, no, I wouldn't say some of it is not as good. No, it's phenomenal all the way through. His most recent reread, I noticed the pacing was a bit off. And that was just because I remember it being really fast-paced and, like, not letting up for anything. And then I realized, well, no, it kind of does. Alright, now on to the rereads. There's a bunch of rereads. In fact, I mentioned, how many aren't rereads? Let's just do that instead. Oh, shit, I put that in the wrong spot. It's a good thing I checked that. Alright, so I gotta put that forward. But I think it's like, what, 5 of them aren't rereads? We got a lot of rereads. Yeah, 5 of them aren't rereads. We got a lot of rereads this time around. And that's fine. That's not what I was going for or anything like that. It's just the way I read them, I guess. I don't know. And these are all in my PC except for one. One of them, I tried not to get one library book, but it was a book that was active on my account, which means we're waiting for the patron that had it before you to return it. And it was taking a little bit. Actually, no, the other one's taking a while. But this one, it's like appeared like, it shipped. It's like, yay, but also not yay. But no, in all seriousness, it was a good thing. I'm glad that I got it. Alright, I'm getting at you. Okay, so now we've got it all in the right spot. I'm really glad I did that. I'm like so proud of myself. Give myself a big round of applause. Alright, so we put. I guess I remember what order. Not remember what order, but I gotta make sure I put it in the right order. I'm a bit OCD. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, technically 9, because 2 of them are like a half. Like it would be 8 and a half if it weren't for the other 2, or for the other one. You'll see what I mean in a second here. And I just put that on top of Kinski. Why did I do that? All right. First one up. Now this technically, no, this is not a reread. It's gonna start out as a reread. All right. So this one will start out as a reread. This one was one I gave up on. This is Kurt Busiek's Conan Chronicles. Now, Conan, when I think of Conan, I think of just basically what Thor is, but fantasy-wise. So the pacing of like Jason Aaron's, actually no, that's a good. I don't actually even. So Jason Aaron's Conan, what I read so far, the first issue was really good. I was like, that's what I want out of Conan. Just exactly what he did. He made it very interesting. It wasn't overly narrated, and this one was. This is Kurt Busiek. I'm not a big fan of Kurt Busiek's writing. In fact, I don't even mind. I don't have everything he's done for Image Comics. Like, I have Autumn Lands, I have Aerosmith, and one that is coming in, as of me recording this, Free Agents. And I'm fine with owning it. Actually, honestly, I only got that because it's the co-author is Fabian Nicieza, and that's one of the only things he's ever done for Image. So I was like, oh, novelty. But yeah, Kurt Busiek, everything I've read by him, I haven't liked. Even Autumn Lands, I only got it because I was like, oh, I kind of liked it the second time around, so maybe the third time around, it's just let's own it. Why not? And it was one of those books, and again, I'm kind of like, I mentioned this earlier, and it was like, I think a few months earlier, and it has not changed. I am getting a bit carried away with the library had it, now I want to own it in my PC. Now, I'm not going completely overboard and doing not just Image, but every single publisher. I have a system, and I like the system. Like, it's like 1 or 2 of them are the ones the library had, and I don't have, and none of them are as thick as this, so, as this trade. They're like that They're about as thick as the Heathen Town trade, maybe a little bit more because some of them are like 2-volume series. But my point being, I don't get like it's not like a bunch of thick trades. I'm almost done, honestly. Honestly, I think I have maybe a year from now I'll be done with that. A year because of just how much you'll see what I mean when the time comes. But anyways, haven't like a whole lot by Kurt Busiek is my point. I started this and I just gave up. I don't know where I left off on. I think it was issue 5. I don't know. Just a lot of narration. Just the pacing was off in my opinion. But now that I know what I'm going into, what was that, nudity? Ah, now I can't find it again. Alright, it was towards the end. But now that I know what I'm going into, I'm sure I'll like it enough. But yeah, nothing that is gonna make me like Kurt Busiek any more than I did before. It was probably just like nudity but no nipples. Because I vaguely remember seeing that in his book. But anyways, Conan Chronicles, Epic Collection. Those are actually probably, you know what's kind of funny about that is that if I really don't end up liking those, I could probably sell those for a pretty penny because Marvel no longer owns the rights to Conan, and Titan Comics is being kind of slow to reprinting what Marvel came out with. They're already pretty far ahead on the original stuff, like the original Marvel years omnibuses, getting those reprinted. But I almost want to say that Kurt Busiek's the modern era hasn't been collected yet. Almost want to say that. I haven't been on top of it per se, but you'd think I would know about it if I'm subscribed to Near Mint Condition and I at least know that they've gotten that much out so far. But anyways, moving on. Wolverine Old Man Logan by Mark Millar. Some of these rereads are just a long time coming. Unfortunately, as much as I really dug this Old Man Logan and just dig Mark Millar's writing for the most part, pretty much everything I've read by him except for one book. You already know it's Superman Red Sun because I already reviewed it. So except for Superman Red Sun, I've liked everything Mark Millar has written that I've read. Kick-Ass is Kick-Ass. Kingsman was much better than the movie. Wolverine Old Man Logan is... Honestly, I don't know what I liked more. So I'll watch this. I'll read this and then watch Logan, and then I'll give you my 2 cents afterwards. But just so damn good. Like this Wolverine, Millar, McNiven, Wolverine doesn't get any better than this. That is 100% true. Just remember really digging this one. So I don't think it ever. As much as I'm praising it, I don't think a day will ever come where I collect all of Mark Millar's run on Wolverine. Maybe if it's on sale, but even then, that's still a lot to collect. And I probably will want, I straight up will want to get the Greg Rucka run that comes out beforehand. Because it was like, Wolverine back in that time was like, just top notch, like unbeatable. And then I almost want to say right after that was Jason Aaron's run. So, like, just unbeatable. They knew what they were doing back then. Yeah, Wolverine, Old Man Logan. So this is a reread in, like, so good example. What criteria do the 3 rereads fall under? What 3 criteria the rereads fall under? First one up, as you know, is reread to redeem. I didn't like this one. I want to reread it, and maybe I'll like it more the second time. That's happened before. It happened with Autumnlands, technically. And this one is reread for fun. Really liked it. Want to read it again. The third one is, I don't think I have any of these. Technically, actually, this one is. Okay, so this one... Oh, wait to get those books out. I remember. Uh-oh. Right tray. Damn it. Is it here? Please say it's right here. Yay. It is. Oh, I forgot about that one. Alright. Put that thing... Yeah, put the... Yeah, put it to remind myself to do that. Alright. Okay. So, this one, so there are a few ones that you might see afterwards I review that I don't show off here. That's entirely possible, and one of them is the continuation of Ultimate X-Men. So I'll be definitely reading the first 2 volumes. And I might read I actually have it right here. I do. So, and possibly, so I will show it off. Possibly this one. You know what? Yes, I will do that. Because that is 25 issues, and we have a book here that is also 25 issues of book. It's a compendium. So, I'll be reading the first 25 issues of Ultimate X-Men. It will start out as a reread. So I read all this, really dug it. Mark Millar, knockout, all that. So Volume 2 is not a reread. This one, it will be reading all the way through, first time ever. Maybe I started out reading it. I think I did that. But then we have this, which is the Ultimate Collection Book 2, and which I've also not read all the way through. So it will start out as a reread and as not a reread. So, what I was saying before is that sometimes we'll have a reread to refresh, where I want to finally read all of Ultimate X-Men, and I know the library might have it, cross my fingers, hopefully they have it, all of Ultimate X-Men. So to finally finish it, I need to refresh my memory by rereading Volume 1. I'm doing the same with Scalped, and that's a great example. It's a library book, so I obviously don't have Scalped with me. Alright, so we got X-Men, so I'll put those ones back. I don't want to have all the same book in that pile. It's just unnecessary weight. Then we have Venom by Donny Cates, Volume 1. Unfortunately, I don't have anything other than Volume 1 for Venom by Donny Cates. It's a reread. I really dug it. Then we have Venom by Mike Costa, another one I only have Volume 1 of. I don't know why, like, I really should have, back before I made the move to indie publishers, of finishing all of Venom by this creator, and just maybe give me the trades on Amazon. Back in the day, I was comic shop only, and maybe Amazon worst case, and now it's the other way around. Pretty much because I don't have a job anymore that's close to the mall. So I used to work at a restaurant that was right next to the mall that had that. It was in that Newbury Comics was in. But now I work at a school that's right next to the library, at least, which I think is a really funny parallel. There's the same because I get comics at both places. Obviously, comic shop, I get comics, and in the library, I would check out comics from other libraries or the library itself. So I'd constantly be getting comics from the library, and constantly going there and either reading the books that I needed to finish before they were due, or picking up new books. So it's constantly comics. And then at the library, and then when I worked at the job before I worked at now, it was the restaurant, and it was the Newbury Comics that was at the mall right next to that restaurant. Really nice parallel. I just kind of realized. All right. So yeah, I don't know why I didn't do that. I really should have, especially because I think there's only 3 volumes in this series of Mike Costa's run. Now, why don't I do that right now? Why don't I just take a little break? No, I don't want to do that. Again, say digital only is so. Physical books is all Image. Digital and library is whatever other publisher. Usually when they're on sale, and even digital I haven't been keeping up on. No, I don't know why the library does not have more than just. I think actually the library doesn't even have this of Venom. They don't have a whole lot of Venom. It's really weird. Yes, Venom, Mike Costa. I remember a long time ago. I don't think they do this anymore because they didn't have the budget to do this. But I could give the librarian a little bit extra money and say, "Hey, can you get this book from way over here?" And because I gave her the extra money, she'd be able to do that. But I think the budget doesn't allow for that. Because that was a long time ago she mentioned that. I actually want to ask her about that because I'm not 100% sure if it was me just being like, it's not worth it or whatever. So they had like all of Mike Costa's run or all of Donny Cates run, how the omnibus of Venom at like way the hell. Yeah, this is an extreme example, but way the hell in California she could do that for me. I think it would be like next state over. I'm not gonna say what that is. I'm not gonna dox myself. Nice try, you guys. All right. This one I'll also be probably trying to finish, and this is I have Volume 1 on the Kindle, Volume 2 on the Kindle, Volume 1 physically, Volume 2 on the Kindle, and that is Rick Remender's run on Venom. So a lot of Venom in the month of July. But that is a good example of the reread to refresh. I want to reread Volume 1 complete collection so I can finish off Recommender's run with Volume 2, which is on the Kindle. I think by then because I'm also, like, one of my goals, overall comic reading goals, is to read the books that I've bought on the Kindle. Because, for one reason or another, like, I know I bought things I wanted them. You know, I don't mind taking, a very long time to finally get down to reading them. That's not a big deal in my opinion. But what is a big deal is the storage space they take up. Now, I don't download I can't download every single graphic novel I buy, but I still did in the past, and I would just, like, leave them on there, leave them downloaded, not read them. And that's not for any reason other than I just had a lot of other books to read, and I'm not a digital comics reader. I don't have that mentality to remember, not that to remember to, I wanted to read Harley Quinn, Black, White, and Redder, because I have that trade on the Kindle. First one I have on physically, so you'll see a review of that. And the second volume, I want to read on the Kindle. So I'll have read all of the Harley Quinn, Black, White, and Red series. I don't know why it's such a mouthful for me to say. Harley Quinn, Black, White, and Red. But that's the point. So I don't have the mentality. I just like, and of course, like, it's library books. Sometimes I would be like, okay, so I have 10 books left to read in the library. Then I'll have the 11th book be a Kindle book. And then I would just be like, well, actually, no, because I got to read 2 of this book, because this book is thicker than this book is, and I need to finish them all by this date. And in order to do that, it has to be 11. I have to read 2. It was just a lot of that. And it's a lot of forgetting, and then this happened, and that happened, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. And that's why I'm really trying to do, like, hey, like, I have Venom Volume 1 Recommender. I want to finish the Recommender run on Venom once and for all, so I'm going to knowing that I have to read Volume 2 on the Kindle, I am going to also read, hey, I also have an open slot. Let's finally finish up Harley Quinn, Black, White, and Red. I know I need to read that also, but then also to add to that and finally read the Wonder Woman, Black, White, and Gold series. So even more Black, White, and Black and White DC books. So there's a lot of that is what I'm trying to do. Get in the mentality of just doing that, and that. Just really getting on the books that I've been needing to read once and for all. They're on the Kindle. Moving on, because we're getting very sidetracked. We're already 27 minutes in, and we're still on the rereads. And I know it's not saying much. I think we're not even on the 10th book yet. Alright. Ultimates, Mark Millar. Ultimates 2, Mark Millar. I liked Volume 1 a lot more the second time around. Maybe I'll have with Volume 2. I think Volume 2 is like a lot more than the first time. The first volume, the first time I read it. So. Alright, so where's the other Batman book? There it is. Okay, so, that's Batman and Robin. Okay, Batman and Robin, Volume 2, not Detective Comics, Volume 2. Peter J. Tomasi, and Patrick Gleason, as Patrick will say the artist is, their run on Batman and Robin. No, I don't have more than past Volume 2. And honestly, this is one I'm like, why am I rereading this one? I liked it, yeah, but okay, you know what, I guess we're reading a whole lot of Batman, so I might as well add this one in too. Alright, so Batman and Robin, Volumes 1 and 2 of the Peter J. Tomasi run. Some of these I'm reading Volumes 1 and 2 because that's all I own and might as well at that point. Alright, then we have Batman Detective Comics. This one makes sense because this is all of Tony S. Daniels' run. Volume 3 started after that. It was John Layman's run on Detective Comics, New 52. And this one actually also makes sense because I wasn't too crazy about this. I thought it was just okay at best. So this is a reread to redeem. Peter J. Tomasi is reread because I liked it so much. Reread for fun. This is a reread to redeem. So this is Tony S. Daniels' run on Batman Detective Comics, New 52. Volumes 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure Volume 3 started right off the bat with John Layman's run. I could be wrong, but I also think I'm right. And what's nice about that is that Tony S. Daniels is also the artist. So it comes full circle. Alright. Then we have this one actually is going to start out as a reread. So you can tell I stacked these by the order that I'm gonna read them because even then I'm breaking some rules because I like to start out as full rereads and then the technical rereads after. This is a technical reread because I started this but never finished it, and that is Batman: The Black Mirror by Scott Snyder. No, I have no excuse for not having read this already, all the way through already, and I'm not even gonna make any excuses. We're just gonna move on. What's kind of ironic as the artist is Jock, who also did image work. JLA, The Tower of Babel by Mark Waid. This is a reread to redeem, although it's not one that, like, Detective Comics, I was like, I should have liked that more than I actually did. This one, when I started watching Comic Pop's review on Tower of Babel, even they agreed with me on how I felt about the book. I agree with them. Actually, I should start by saying that because that didn't make sense. But I said the other way around. I agree with them 100% about what they said. And what's kind of annoying about this is that this is not all Tower Babel. I think Tower Babel is actually just like 3 issues in here. Everything else is technically unrelated, but also it's issues 18, 19, 20, so it's all in order at least. Actually, no, it doesn't go in order. So it actually, so this one collects JLA 1821, then it skips all the way to 32 to 33, skips again to 43 to 46. And what's funny about that is that I have the Grant Morrison omnibus, so technically speaking, I really shouldn't be rereading this, huh? But I chose to reread this, so we're stuck. Alright, so JLA, Tower Babel, reread to redeem. Although I don't think it'll come out this one anymore. But it's Mark Waid, and it's the JLA I really liked when I was reading the floppy, so what the hell. Next up is The Boys. This one I really need to get around to, and I might just do that too, finishing this up all the way through once and for all. Because I was fine with just reading book 1 and then leaving, books 2 and onward for later on, and the Dear Becky spinoff that comes out after the omnibuses. But I was just like, yeah, well, also I need to read this, so we'll take a little break. And I think maybe, if anything, I was like, okay, after that we'll get back on it, and I never did. I don't know what my thought process was. Honestly, I don't know what my thought process is with this one either. But I think it is going to end up being a reread to refresh, because I will finally end up reading all of The Boys by Garth Ennis. The next one up, this is multiple authors. This is Hellboy Universe, and it's Christopher Roberson and John Arcudi co-writing with Mike Mignola, but Chris Roberson and John Arcudi. This one is the ultimate reread for the hell of it, because this one was so damn good. I liked pretty much every single page of this. Even Chris Roberson, who I'm very hit or miss with, that's the reason why I say hit or miss, because he brings it all. Blood, sweat, and tears to its fullest. All that. This was amazing, and I cannot wait to reread this again. Now on to the image books I'll be reading for this month. You already saw the OGNs. Now on to the rereads and the ones that I will be reading the first time ever. So the first two are rereads all the way through, and then third and fourth ones are technically a rereads. One of them is a 2-volume series. I read volume 1, and the other is a compendium that I only read the first 5 issues of. Just in case I forget to mention that, that's what it was. Okay, first up is, what's an Erica Henderson? Joe Henderson's. I wonder if they're related. The funny thing is, I just now put 2 and 2 together, and I don't know why I hadn't before. First one up is Skyward. First of all, I can't wait to read this in hardcover format and finally read that 2-page epilogue. Because the hardcover, so I read this, it was a library had. I liked it so much I bought it myself. But true in format, what's that? True and tried? I don't know. But like 100% I liked it so much I bought it myself. And I upgraded it too, to the oversized hardcover. Technically it's an omnibus. But yes, Skyward, the omnibus, the complete collection omnibus. This one was so damn good. I cannot wait to read this again. I almost did I was in comic haul mode because it's an image book, and I almost showed you guys the interior artwork. So this is what I do for this is the difference between a comic haul and a comics I'll be reading the next however many weeks or whatever I call that. Comic haul is, I recently bought Skyward, written by Joe Henderson with artwork by Lee Garbett and colored by Antonio Fabella. And then I'll say it collects issues 1 through 15 of Skyward, all 15 issues of Skyward. And then I'll show the artwork, the interior artwork of the book. That is a comic haul. Now the comics I'll be reading the next few weeks, if it's miscellaneous, like not image writers like Tom Taylor, John Ridley, come on brain, John Ridley, trying to tip my tongue, Philip Kennedy Johnson, and Jeremy Adams for now, because he is planning on doing a Creep Show book. Like, those ones are miscellaneous. So they haven't done any work for Image, except for in some exceptions. I also have, I can't think of it. He did the World of Krypton series. Again, name was on the tip of my tongue, I can't think of the name. Robert Venditti, like, those are, like, they haven't done any work for Image, so that's miscellaneous. I will not say who the author is. I'll just say World of Krypton, and then I'll say Deceased, and I'll say Batman White Knight, and I'll say so on and so Shankar and Murphy is only that artwork for Image. So that's kind of one of those things that's kind of like a technical, I don't know. But for the most part, they've not done anything for Image, so I don't say who the author is. But for the Image writers, I do. Like this pile, I'll say who each and every author is, unless I forget, which hopefully I don't. But anyways, I don't show the interior artwork either. It's too much work. I don't say how many issues are in the book. The only exception being that JLA Tower Babel hardcover. So some exceptions, maybe I'll show the artwork if it's really good artwork or whatever. Or the other way around, really bad artwork. But usually I don't do that. I just say what the book is, who the author is, and I say a little bit about the book, and then I move on. And then sometimes I'll get sidetracked into here. Alright, moving on. So Skyward, Joe Henderson. Really enjoyed it. Then we have one that's a reread, but not because the library had it. It's just a series that I liked so much, kind of, that I want to reread again. So Rose started out, by Meredith Finch, started out as a series I was kind of like, this is the same Meredith Finch that did that Wonder Woman run I boast is super underrated and was really damn good and a worthy enough follow-up to Brian Azzarello's absolutely perfect run on Wonder Woman. How the hell is it the same? And it's also the same kind of realm, the same kind of like, it's the kind of fantasy, and this is more fantasy, but Wonder Woman's also more fantasy, leans more fantasy than other DC comics do, the trendy anyways. So why am I not liking this? And then it got really good. So I'm hoping this more recent reread, I like it from the get-go. And I just want to read it again. So all 3 volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Rose. And what's funny about this is that usually Image is like 5 issues per volume. So I always think it's 15 issues of Rose. It's not. It's 17 because the first 2 were 6 issues each, and the last one was 5 issues. No, I don't know why Meredith Finch couldn't just do one more issue and make it a nice 18-issue series. So each volume was 6 issues. I don't know why they didn't do that. Or she didn't do that. Also, I find this really funny. It starts out as being rated T for teen, and then the second volume, right from the second volume, they up it to, where is it? Teen plus. Found that kind of funny. I don't usually, I don't think I've ever seen that from an Image book. Alright. Next up is the one that's a compendium. It's Ghost a Compendium, written by Joshua Williamson. This one I started out reading, and it's one Wednesday, library had it. Now, I did like it, and it is, technically speaking, a library had it. I liked it so much that I bought it myself. But also, I was going to finish the series, all 20 issues of this series, in the individual trade paperbacks. Volume 2 was lost. Like, I never ended up getting it, and they said, oh no, it's on your account, and like, it was a whole big thing. I was like, what the hell happened with it? Like, no one knew what the hell happened with it. I think what ended up happening was it was just someone put it in the wrong pile by mistake. That must have been what happened. And then when they finally, like, it was 3 months later, and I was like, hey, I wonder what happened with Volume 2. And I asked the librarian, and she was like, oh, it's been taken care of, don't worry about it. And I was like, well, you know what? Instead of making us go through all that shit again, I'm just gonna get the compendium. And then I just got so sidetracked with other books I wanted to get that I didn't end up getting into, like, fairly recently, like, just this past August. So, I wanted to rectify to make that come full circle, all the way around, by finally reading all of Ghosted by Joshua Williamson. See, sometimes I like doing the little stories behind the books and why I picked them and why this and why that. Usually there isn't a story. Like Venom by Mike Costa. The only thing I want to say was, oh, it's they don't have a full run in what I explained back then. But and then Johnny Cates is just the same exact thing. So, and some of them I don't have anything to say about them. Oh, Shysta, come on. Okay, forgot about this one. Actually, no, we're good. We're good. Yes, I'm so happy right now. Because I forgot about one, and I was like, ah, shit, I forgot about that one. But the way I'm reading it, I can make it the last book that I show off. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Put that at the bottom of the pile, so I don't forget. And no, I was not doing anything. I was not doing a funny by saying Shysta. That's what I said. I wonder if I said it like I wonder if I pronounced it so well that YouTube's auto-generated subtitles will know what the fuck I'm saying. Like, they'll do the actual German shit. That'd be cool. Alright. Next one up is Excellence. And this is the one where I read all of Volume 1, but not of Volume 2. Now, why is that? Well, library just have fucking Volume 2. Nowhere in the fucking library does they have Volume 2. That shit pisses me off so much. Like, yeah, like right now I have. I bought it myself. All good. And nowadays, I would just buy it myself to begin with. Back then, I was trying to save some fucking money. And now I just don't care. Now I have a good system with it. Before, it was because I was getting books from every single publisher. But now that I have it under somewhat of a good system, just one publisher, I don't really care. But, books like The Red Mother, when the fuck am I going to finish that book? Never. But anyways, Excellence, Volumes 1 and 2, written by Brandon Thomas. Cannot wait to finally finish Excellence. This was, as the name would imply, excellent. An excellent series. I heard it gets a little bit like it started out as being a, not exceeding expectations, but the subverting expectations. Like, I was like, oh, this is going to be this, and then being that. And then it turned out to be exactly what everyone thought it was going to be by the end of it. But I don't really mind those types of comics. However, will I mind it this time around? Time will tell. But now that I'm like this all coming back to me, I'm like, well, maybe I will. The more I remember about it, the more I'm like, oh, shit. We'll see, though. Alright, next one is also by Brandon Thomas. But now we are on to all the way through ones I'm reading for the first time ever. So no more rereads. As of Horizon by Brandon Thomas, volumes 1, 2, and 3. Now, another one I might be adding, because I want the whole point of reading Excellence and Horizon the same month was because I wanted to read everything that Brandon Thomas has done for Image all within 1 month. I may just be adding in, actually I probably will be adding in, Hardcore by, I'll just show it. Why not? Why not? But so the reason why I'm not, I'm like, oh, should I add it, should I not add it, is because I already have enough books. I don't want to add another one in there, but I will definitely make it top priority to include, at the end of the day, Hardcore Volume 1, which is written by Andy Diggle, and Volume 2, which is written by Brandon Thomas. Now, what's even funnier about this is that Hardcore started out as a pilot season book. It was like, oh, is this going to get picked up for a series? We don't know. But that issue, that pilot season issue one shot, was written by Robert Kirkman. So, yeah, kind of funny. So that's probably why Volume 1 is written by Andy Diggle and Volume 2 is Brandon Thomas. So that's the reason why you might just see hardcore at the end of the day. So I'm showing it off, like I showed off the other Ultimate X-Men, that complete collection, Volume 2. Why not? Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to add it in, just not at first. And if, like, I get behind on reading the books and whatever, and all that happens, then yeah, at the end of the day, it'll probably end up being an August book. I may just push it back to August. But I really do want to try to read and finish hardcore. I mean, not finish all of what Brandon Thomas ever image. And that's the whole point. Alright. So yeah, and going back to Horizon, one of those books that like just takes me back too. Because I remember seeing that like way back in the day, and I was like, yeah, I got terrible reviews, I'm not gonna get it. But now I really like Brandon Thomas's writing. I'm like, no, we're gonna get everything. It's the whole. I've been collecting Image for a long time, and it just was one of those instances where I realized just how long it's been. All right. Next up, we have the Silver Coin, written by Various. This is an anthology series, but instead of like issues 1 being written by James Tynion, Chip Zdarsky, and Michael Walsh, each issue was written by like all of it. The entire issue. Issue 1, all of it written by Chip Zdarsky. Issue 2, all of it written by Stephanie Phillips. Like that's how they did it. And I think that's how you should do anthologies. Like if you're gonna do mini stories, make like Batman Black and White, where they have a point to being short. Like you can definitely shorten it, or Harley Quinn Black, White, and Red. Because some of those were like, yeah, I'm glad those were shorter stories. There is a way that you can tell short stories and make it worth your time. But then also you have books that are like, yeah, what the hell is this? And that's when I think you need to do a whole entire issue. Not, and it's the standard size, and not it being part of that issue. And if you really want to, like, if you want to make it 60 pages, and it's 2 stories in there, so 30 pages each story, then that also makes sense. But for the most part, I like the approach that Silver Coin did. Now, I like the approach. I have not read it, so I can't say, but for now, I like the approach. Now, who are the writers here? We got Michael Walsh, who does all the art, it looks like, in lettering for this series. Like the entire series itself, not just this volume. You got a story by Chip Zdarsky, then Kelly Thompson, then Ed Brisson, then Jeff Lemire, and then ending with Michael Walsh, writing the series, writing the last issue in this trade. 5 issues, each trade. 5 issues, 5 stories, 5 creators, 5 writers. Alright, then volume 2, yeah. Looks like everything's done by, all the art is done by Michael Walsh. Okay, so volume 2, it's Joshua Williamson, then Ram V, then Matthew Rosenberg, then Vita Ayala, then Michael Walsh again. So some really good writers. So yeah, I want to do covers too. I'm going to show you guys the covers. So, volume 1 of Silver Coin, volume 2 of Silver Coin, and volume 3 of Silver Coin. So now I'm going to check out who the writers are. I was right. Art and lettering for the entire series of 15 issues is all done by Michael Walsh. But then writing, first story is James Tynion, then Stephanie Phillips, then Johnny Christmas, then Porntype Chody, and the last one being done by Michael Walsh. So Michael Walsh has 5 issues in here, but knockout creators all through and through. I don't think there's a single writer in here that I don't like. Like, even Vita Ayala, I've liked most of what I've read by her. None of it has been top 20 material, even that, but I haven't hated anything she's written. And I'm even interested in reading her Children of the Atom series, because of how infamously terrible everyone says it is. Alright. Then we have Invisible Republic by Gabriel Hardman, and I think, yeah, and Karina Bechko. So volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Invisible Republic, which, from what I remember, the series ends on a cliffhanger. So they're gonna, like, this was supposed to be half of what they're gonna do. Like, they're gonna get at least, I want to say 50 actually, but at least 30 issues, and it only got 15 pumped out. So, yeah, it might just end on a cliffhanger. Oh well. but absolutely phenomenal writers. So I cannot wait to read Invisible Republic. A lot of this run of like why I decided to read these books over any other book I had my PC for Image is really just ones that I've been putting out for a long time, and I finally want to read for once and for all. And next one, and that's pretty much all of them for the most part, I would say, I guess in general. But anyways, this next one is, but this one was more, so I'd argue. But anyways, next one up is Luthor Strode by Justin Jordan. This one I was gonna wait until I got everything I need by Justin Jordan from imagecomics, but that date's not gonna come, so at least it's gonna come for a while. I just want to read this. It was one that I was anticipating, and I have no business not reading this yet. But yes, Luthor Strode, the complete series. Art by Chad Moore. Yeah, nice. It was just gonna be artist days, but I didn't know who Chad Moore is, so okay. I know of him. He did the artwork. He started out as an artist, and apparently, like, when the art for Walking Dead, which also written by Robert Kirkman, who also is Invincible, when that series came out, like, everyone hated that they changed the artist after 6 issues. But I would argue that this is an unpopular opinion, but I like the artist change. I think that was when Walking Dead started getting really damn good and didn't stop, and just was like so damn good. Like, I would honestly say that, technically speaking, Walking Dead kind of starts out slow, and when the artist change comes around, that's when it gets to its momentum that it never stops getting off of. And that was like something that when I reread that series, I was surprised. I always thought that, like, when they got to the Sanctuary, I think it was called, when they get to that part in the comics, I remember being kind of slow. And then I remember we read it, and I was like, no, it's not. It's still really interesting. When does the slow part come? And then they read and finished it all once. I finished it all through, like, the entire series, and I was like, okay, so the slow part never came. I was just picky when I first read it. And there's also expectations, to be fair. But anyways, speaking of Robert Kirkman, Invincible, Book 2, hardcover, library book. So I do have the compendiums, and I thought they'd at least have whatever hardcovers cover the first compendium. So it had the first compendium covered, and at the end of the year, when I do all the Image books I read in the year of 2025, I could include the first compendium. Well, I'd include the entire series, of course, at that point. I don't think it would. I'd probably just, at that point, only have been able to finish the first compendium. So I will not be seeing this at the end of the year. I just really want it to my PC. Unless I change my mind the last minute. But I don't think I will. But anyways, Invincible, Robert Kirkman, Volume 2, oversized hardcover. And now we're done with the Image books, and we have 4 more. Alright, how long is this going on for? Oh my god, almost an hour. Alright, we're doing a little bit of a speed run for the rest of these books. There's not a whole lot I need to say about these books, except for this one specifically, and that is Call of Duty Zombies by Justin Jordan. This one I bought, and I was gonna read it right away into like a mystery science theater with my cousin, but in comic form. And then I realized I was like, how am I gonna do this? Am I gonna do an overhead shot? Am I gonna do like showing the artwork like this? How am I gonna film that? And I decided to give up. Am I gonna just do a screen capture? No, I don't want to do that because that's gonna require me buying the Kindle book, and I don't want to condone piracy. I mean, but still, don't want to do that. So I decided at the end of the day, to hell with it, and I put it in my pile of books and kind of sort of forgot about it until now. Next up, we have Gotham Central. This one, this is 40 issues, so definitely not finishing this all in the month of July, even if I were to read, like, I would just do, so I could read it like 30 days, so I have to read like 2. I might do that, but also probably not, but also maybe I will. So you might see all 4 volumes covered, reviewed, at the end of the month. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. And I don't even know where the volumes 2, 3, and 4 are, because of how much 2, 3, and 4 are. Because of how many books I put. I put some in the closet, I put some over there, I put some over here. So it's just kind of a pain in the house. So time will tell if I actually do that. Green Arrow by Jeff Lemire. This is one of those books that started out being written by someone else, then Jeff Lemire comes on for issues 1734. I think after that, because I think they did go to 52 issues, there's this new 52 Green Arrow. So I think after that, it's written by someone different, obviously. But I'm just gonna read I was gonna read it all in order, but I can't because Life does not have the first 16 issues in trade format. So I'm just gonna read this as is. Jeff Lemire's run on Green Arrow. There's also a gift my cousin, a Christmas gift, and I ever since this year I've been trying to get those covered because there's no reason not to. So yeah, there's that. And finally, finishing up Ex Machina. Oh, no, this was a reread all the way through. Damn it! Ugh. This was a reread. I am an idiot. But no, I'm not an idiot because... No, guys, I'm not an idiot because I started reading this for a second time. There's a bookmark right here, so that's what I'm doing. That is why I said I'm not an idiot at the end of the day. I didn't forget. Because this I'm not going to be reading. So yeah, technically this is not a reread. I have read this all the way through the first time, but the second time around I started reading it, and then I just got so caught behind other books that I could not finish this for the life of me. And I was like, you know what? Put it aside. We'll read it come July and finish that. And not the whole entire series, but just Volume 1 Compendium. And hell, I might not even do that. But that, as they say, is that.